Do-hyun Kim had seen many strange things in his 5 years as Earth's lead diplomat to the Galactic Council. He had met beings made of pure light, creatures that looked like walking crystals, and even species that could change their shape at will. But nothing had prepared him for the sight of 30 serious-looking Asterians wearing red Santa hats in his office. The Asterians were tall, blue-skinned beings with large silver eyes. They usually wore formal robes in dark colors. Today, however, their traditional clothes were topped with bright red and white hats they had bought from a gift shop in New York City. "Diplomat Kim," said High Chancellor Vex, the leader of the Asterian delegation, "we have made a most fascinating discovery during our visit to Earth." The Chancellor's silver eyes shined with excitement. Do-hyun straightened his tie and tried to keep a serious face. "What discovery would that be, High Chancellor?" "Your people have a powerful entity that can bend the laws of physics, one who can visit billions of homes in a single night, carry infinite gifts in a small bag, and command flying animals." Vex's voice filled with wonder. "And you let this being interact with your children?" Do-hyun blinked several times. He looked at the Santa hats again and finally understood. "Oh, you mean Santa Claus?" "Yes. This Santa Claus appears to be one of the most influential figures in your culture. We saw his image everywhere in your cities. Children line up to speak with his representatives. Your people even leave offerings of milk and round sweet discs for him." "Cookies," Do-hyun corrected automatically. "We leave cookies." Cultural Minister Nix stepped forward. She was wearing 2 Santa hats, one on top of the other. "What amazes us most is how calm your people are about this reality-bending entity. Your children sing songs about him. Adults dress like him. Yet no one seems afraid of his powers." Do-hyun realized he needed help. He quickly called Jae-yun Park, Earth's expert on folklore and traditions. While waiting for her to arrive, he tried to explain. "Santa Claus is not exactly what you think. He's more of a traditional figure, a symbol of giving and joy." The Asterians looked confused. Minister Nix took out a tablet. "But we have collected evidence. Look at these Earth documents." She showed Do-hyun various Christmas movies, each featuring Santa doing impossible things. "Those are entertainment. They're not real," Do-hyun explained. "They're stories we tell children to make the holiday special." High Chancellor Vex's eyes widened even more. "You mean there are multiple documents about his powers? Fascinating. We must study this further." Just then, Jae-yun Park entered the office. She stopped at the door, taking in the sight of the hat-wearing aliens. Do-hyun had never been so happy to see anyone in his life. "Jae-yun, please help me explain Santa Claus to our Asterian friends." For the next 2 hours, Jae-yun tried to explain Christmas traditions. She talked about the holiday's history, the spirit of giving, and how Santa was a way to make children happy. The Asterians took detailed notes and asked countless questions. "So, the flying animals, reindeer, they are normal Earth creatures?" asked one Asterian scientist. "Well, regular reindeer can't fly," Jae-yun said. "That's just part of the story." "But how does he visit all the homes in one night?" asked another. "He doesn't actually," Do-hyun started, but High Chancellor Vex interrupted. "Of course, it must be classified information. We understand completely." Vex winked, which looked very strange with his large silver eye. "Earth must protect its advanced transportation technology." Jae-yun tried one more time. "Santa Claus is about the joy of giving. The magic comes from making others happy, not from actual powers." The Asterians nodded politely, but Do-hyun could tell they didn't believe it. They thought Earth was hiding something big. As the delegation left his office, still wearing their Santa hats, Do-hyun heard them whispering about quantum tunneling and time dilation fields. He looked at Jae-yun and sighed. "I think we just created a diplomatic situation." Jae-yun watched the Asterians walk away, now singing jingle bells in their deep rumbling voices. At least they're enthusiastic about Earth culture. Do-hyun rubbed his temples, Something told him this was just the beginning of a very interesting holiday season. He had no idea just how right he was. 1 week after the Santa hat incident, Do-hyun Kim sat in his office reading reports that made his head hurt. The Asterian delegation had returned to their homeworld, but they hadn't forgotten about Santa Claus. If anything, their fascination had grown stronger. His computer screen showed messages from Earth's observers on the Asterian homeworld. The aliens had started building something big, very big. They called it the Gift Distribution Research Center, but satellite images showed it looked suspiciously like the North Pole from Christmas movies. Do-hyun's office door opened, and Jae-yun Park rushed in. "Have you seen the latest? They're trying to breed giant elk-like creatures from their planet. They think they can make them fly. It gets worse," Do-hyun said, showing her another report. "They've asked 15 different Earth universities for research papers about quantum physics and time dilation. They think these will explain how Santa delivers presents." Jae-yun sat down heavily in the chair across from his desk. "We need to stop this before it gets out of hand." Just then, Do-hyun's screen lit up with an incoming call from High Chancellor Vex. The Asterian leader appeared, wearing not one but 3 Santa hats stacked on top of each other. "Greetings, Diplomat Kim." Vex boomed cheerfully. "We have wonderful news. Our scientists have made great progress in understanding your Santa technology." "Chancellor, I really must explain again," Do-hyun started. "No need to keep the secrets anymore." Vex winked. "We've figured it out. The red suit must be made of advanced material that allows quantum tunneling. The bag uses pocket dimension technology, and the reindeer clearly operate on anti-gravity principles." Jae-yun stepped into view of the screen. "Chancellor, Santa Claus is not technology. He's a story we tell children. The magic isn't real." Vex laughed, a sound like bells ringing underwater. Of course, we understand. Earth must protect its advantages. But don't worry, we're developing our own version. No copying, just inspiration." The screen split to show a massive facility. Asterian scientists in white coats and Santa hats hurried around complex machines. In the background, large creatures that looked like blue moose were trying to hover in anti-gravity chambers. "Our Santa will use teleportation instead of flying creatures," Vex explained proudly. "Much more efficient, and we're developing our own magic bag technology using micro-black holes." Do-hyun felt a headache coming on. "Chancellor, using black holes for gift delivery seems dangerous." "Oh, they're very small black holes," Vex assured him. "Probably safe. Mostly safe. Our scientists are quite excited." Minister Nix appeared beside Vex, wearing a green elf costume. "We're also working on time manipulation devices. No need for just one night. Our Santa will bend time itself." Jae-yun looked horrified. "You're trying to bend time and space to deliver presents?" "Exactly." Vex beamed. "We've already had 3 small temporal incidents, but nobody was seriously displaced in time. Well, nobody important." Do-hyun quickly typed a message to Earth's Science Council. "Urgent. Asterians developing dangerous technology based on Christmas movies. Please advise." "And the best part," Nix added, "other species are joining the project. The Centaurians are developing their own Santa using plasma beings. The Rigelians are experimenting with gift-delivering nanobots." "How many species are involved?" Do-hyun asked, dreading the answer. "Only 15 so far," Vex said. "Though the Andromedans are very interested. They think they can make their Santa phase through walls instead of using chimneys." After the call ended, Do-hyun and Jae-yun sat in stunned silence. Outside his office window, Earth's sun was setting, painting the sky in festive reds and golds. "We meant to share Earth's holiday spirit with them," Jae-yun said quietly. "Instead, we may have started an interstellar arms race of Santas," Do-hyun finished. His computer was already filling with urgent messages from Earth's government. This Christmas was going to be very interesting indeed. Commander Taho Lee stood at the main observation window of Earth Space Station Alpha, watching the unusual energy readings on his display screen. Strange patterns had been appearing in the sector for the past week, and they were getting stronger. "Commander, you should see this," his science officer called from her station. "The energy signature matches quantum tunneling experiments, but on a massive scale." Tahoe walked over to examine the readings more closely. The patterns originated from the direction of Asterian space. He had received briefings about the aliens' growing obsession with Santa Claus, but this was the first concrete evidence of their experiments. His communication screen lit up with an incoming call from Earth. Do-hyun Kim's tired face appeared. "Commander Lee, are you detecting any unusual activity?" "Yes, and it's getting stronger," Tahoe replied. "What exactly are the Asterians trying to do?" "They're calling it Project North Star," Do-hyun explained. "They've recruited scientists from 12 different species. They're trying to create a working version of Santa Claus using advanced technology." As if to emphasize his point, a flash of light burst in space near the station. A small object materialized, floating past the window. Tahoe's eyes widened as he recognized it. A perfectly wrapped Christmas present, complete with a bow. "They're testing their delivery system," Do-hyun said. "That's the 4th test today. The Asterians are using quantum teleportation to send gifts across space. The Centaurians are experimenting with something they call joy-powered faster-than-light travel." Another flash appeared, larger this time. A strange vehicle emerged briefly, something that looked like a sleigh made of glowing energy, pulled by what appeared to be robotic reindeer. It flickered and vanished again. "The Rigelians?" Tahoe asked. "Yes, that's their prototype. They're very proud of it." Do-hyun rubbed his temples. "The Andromedans are working on their own version using dark matter technology. They say their Santa will be able to visit every house in their galaxy simultaneously." Tahoe's sensors began picking up more anomalies. Spatial distortions were forming around the station. His crew worked quickly to adjust the station's shields. "The Asterians have started full-scale tests of their quantum tunneling gift delivery system," Tahoe reported. "They're creating micro-wormholes. Very small, but they're becoming more frequent." A group of Asterian scientists had boarded the station earlier that day. They walked past the command center now, all wearing Santa hats and carrying complex scanning equipment. They waved cheerfully at Tahoe. "How dangerous is this getting?" Do-hyun asked. Before Tahoe could answer, space itself seemed to ripple. A massive present, easily the size of a small house, appeared outside the station. It hung there for a moment, then vanished with a pop that made the station's windows rattle. "That was the Rigelians again," one of the Asterian scientists called out helpfully. "They're still working on size calibration." Tahoe checked his readings again. The quantum disturbances are spreading. If they keep increasing their tests, they might start affecting normal space travel in this sector. "Can you try to talk some sense into them?" Do-hyun asked. "I tried," Tahoe said, "but they're convinced they're about to make a breakthrough. The Asterian chief scientist told me they've almost perfected their time dilation field. They want their Santa to be able to deliver to their entire empire in what they call subjective Christmas time." Another flash lit up space. This time, a swarm of tiny robotic reindeer appeared, pulling a sleigh made of pure energy. They zoomed past the station, leaving a trail of quantum distortions in their wake. "That's new," Tahoe noted. "The Centaurians must have finished their prototype." Do-hyun sighed deeply. "Keep monitoring the situation. Earth's governments are getting nervous about all this Santa-based technology development. We need to find a way to explain that Christmas isn't about advanced physics." As the call ended, Tahoe watched another present materialize and dematerialize near his station. He had a feeling things were going to get much more complicated before they got simpler. The first sign that things had gone too far came when an Asterian child found a present in her bedroom that hadn't been there a moment before. The gift had appeared in a flash of blue light, accompanied by a cheerful electronic voice saying, "Ho, ho, ho," in perfect Asterian. Jae-yun Park read the report with growing concern. The Asterians had moved from testing to actual gift delivery, using their quantum tunneling technology to send presents directly into homes. They called it the Quantum Santa Initiative. Her office communication screen activated, showing Do-hyun Kim's worried face. "Have you seen the latest reports? The Asterians aren't the only ones doing it anymore." "How bad is it?" Jae-yun asked, though she already feared the answer. "The Centaurians are using energy beings to deliver gifts through power systems. The Rigelians have deployed their robot reindeer fleet, and the Andromedans." Do-hyun paused, checking his notes. "The Andromedans have somehow created a Santa that exists in multiple dimensions at once." Jae-yun pulled up more reports on her screen. Alien children across 3 galaxies were receiving unexpected presents. The gifts appeared in flashes of light, through walls, or sometimes by folding space itself. Some presents arrived weeks early. Others appeared to arrive on Christmas Day, but were actually delivered by time-traveling delivery systems. "The Asterians are proud of their success," Do-hyun continued. "Their Santa can deliver to 1 million homes in what they call compressed time. They've even added special effects. Their quantum tunneling creates something that looks like snow made of light." A new alert popped up on Jae-yun's screen. The Rigelians had upgraded their robotic reindeer with faster-than-light drives. They were causing small sonic booms in the atmosphere of their colony worlds. "The children love it," Jae-yun noted, reading the social impact reports. "But the technology they're using is becoming more unstable. Commander Lee has detected growing distortions in spacetime around major delivery areas." As if to prove her point, a present materialized on her desk. It was wrapped in shimmering paper that seemed to exist in 4 dimensions at once. A tag identified it as a test delivery from the Andromedan Santa program. "The Galactic Council is getting concerned," Do-hyun said. "Some species are worried about the arms race this has created. Each civilization is trying to make their Santa more impressive than the others." Jae-yun picked up the 4-dimensional present carefully. "What happens when these different systems start interfering with each other? We already have reports of presents arriving in the wrong homes, or showing up months early because of time dilation effects." "That's not the worst part," Do-hyun added. "The Centaurians have started working on something they call Project Workshop. They're trying to create a pocket dimension that's bigger on the inside, like Santa's toy shop at the North Pole." Another present appeared on Jae-yun's desk, this one delivered by a tiny wormhole that made a sound like sleigh bells as it closed. The gift tag was written in Asterian script that glowed with quantum energy. "We need to do something," Jae-yun said firmly. "This has gone beyond cultural exchange. They're rebuilding the laws of physics just to deliver presents." "I've called an emergency meeting with the Galactic Council," Do-hyun replied. "But it might be too late. The Andromedans are already marketing their multi-dimensional Santa technology to other species. They're calling it the ultimate holiday experience." As they talked, more presents continued to appear and disappear around Jae-yun's office, each arrival marked by different technological wonders. The space between worlds was filling with quantum tunnels, energy beings, and faster-than-light sleighs. Christmas, it seemed, had gone galactic. Do-hyun Kim stood before the Galactic Council, trying to remain calm as representatives from 15 different species argued about Santa Claus. The Great Council Chamber, usually a place of serious diplomatic discussion, now had holiday decorations from a dozen worlds hanging from its walls. "Earth must share its Santa technology," demanded the Rigelian ambassador, his metallic skin reflecting the festive lights. "It's unfair to keep such advances secret." "We're not keeping anything secret," Do-hyun explained for what felt like the 100th time. "Santa Claus is a cultural tradition, not a technological achievement." High Chancellor Vex stood up, his 3 Santa hats swaying. "Then explain how we detected a temporal anomaly near Earth's North Pole." "That was your quantum tunneling experiment backfiring," Commander Taho Lee said from his position next to Do-hyun. "It created a time distortion that happened to appear near the Arctic." The Andromedan representative, a being of pure light wearing a holographic Santa suit, spoke next. Our multi-dimensional Santa program has already delivered joy to millions of children. We cannot stop now. Tahoe displayed a hologram showing the growing space-time distortions. These are the effects of your competing Santa systems. The quantum tunneling, the faster-than-light sleighs, and the dimensional portals are all starting to interfere with each other. A small present materialized in the center of the council chamber, then another, and another. Soon, gifts were appearing and disappearing randomly as multiple alien Santa systems tried to operate in the same space. Our children love the new traditions, the Centaurian delegate announced. His energy-based form sparked with excitement. Yesterday, our Santa delivered presents through the power grid to every home in our system simultaneously. Yes, and it caused a power surge that shut down 3 space stations, Tahoe pointed out. Jae-yun Park stepped forward. She had been quiet until now, studying the faces of the alien representatives. May I suggest something? You've all worked so hard to create your own Santas, but you've missed the most important part of the tradition. The council chamber grew quiet. Even the randomly appearing presents seemed to slow down. Santa Claus isn't about advanced technology or faster-than-light travel, Jae-yun continued. The real magic of Christmas comes from bringing joy to others, from giving without expecting anything in return. High Chancellor Vex looked confused. But the quantum tunneling makes gift delivery much more efficient. Efficiency isn't the point, Jae-yun said gently. The meaning comes from the thought and care put into choosing gifts, from spending time with family and friends, from celebrating together. A small Rigelian child who had been watching the proceedings with her parents spoke up. I liked it better when my parents helped me leave cookies for Santa. The robot reindeer are scary, and they make loud booms. Do-hyun saw his chance. Perhaps we could find a way to combine the best of both worlds. Keep the spirit of Earth's Christmas while adding your own cultural elements. The council chamber erupted in discussion. The Andromedans suggested using their dimensional technology to create spaces for families to celebrate together. The Centaurians offered to use their energy beings to create beautiful light shows instead of delivery systems. We could help each species develop their own holiday traditions, Jae-yun suggested, ones that reflect their own cultures while keeping the spirit of giving and joy. As the council debated this new approach, Do-hyun noticed the random present deliveries had stopped. Maybe, just maybe, they could turn this crisis into something positive. They just had to help their alien friends understand that the real magic of Christmas didn't need quantum physics at all. Commander Tahoe Lee transformed the observation deck of Space Station Alpha into what he called the Galactic Holiday Cultural Center. Children from Earth and various alien species gathered there, sharing their experiences about Christmas and their own cultural celebrations. The observation deck's large windows showed the stars beyond, occasionally interrupted by the flash of a quantum tunnel or the streak of a faster-than-light sleigh. The aliens were slowly reducing their Santa experiments, but old habits died hard. In my home, we used to leave treats for Santa's reindeer. A young Earth child explained to a group of fascinated alien children. But last week, a robot reindeer came through our wall and ate our whole refrigerator. An Asterian child raised her hand. Our quantum Santa delivered presents last night, but they arrived 3 days ago because of time displacement. My parents say I cannot open them until they actually arrive. Do-hyun Kim watched from the side of the room, standing next to Jae-yun Park. This might actually work, he said quietly. The children seem to understand what we're trying to explain better than the adults did. Jae-yun nodded. Children focus on the joy and wonder, not the technology. Watch what happens next. A young Centaurian, glowing softly with energy, floated forward. On our world, we have a festival of lights where we share energy with each other. Could we combine that with Christmas somehow? That's a wonderful idea, Jae-yun said, stepping forward. Each of your cultures has beautiful traditions. Instead of trying to copy Earth's Santa exactly, why not create something new that captures the same spirit? The children began sharing ideas eagerly. The Regelian children suggested using their technology to create light shows instead of delivery systems. The Andromedan children proposed using their dimensional abilities to make beautiful holiday decorations rather than transportation tunnels. Tahoe noticed that the random present appearances had almost stopped. The alien scientists were too busy watching their children share stories and ideas to continue their experiments. An Asterian scientist removed his stack of Santa hats and sat down with the children. "Tell me more about these cookies you leave for Santa. Our quantum tunneling cannot transport baked goods without turning them into plasma." The Earth children happily explained the tradition of leaving cookies and milk. Soon, the Asterian was taking notes about simple acts of kindness rather than quantum physics equations. The quantum tunnels and time fields were impressive, a Regelian engineer admitted to Tahoe. But seeing my child's face light up when sharing holiday treats with new friends, that feels more like real magic. The observation deck became livelier as parents and scientists joined their children. The Centaurians used their energy manipulation to create beautiful aurora-like displays. Andromedan children taught Earth kids how to make simple dimensional decorations that sparkled in impossible ways. "We're keeping the Santa hats, though," High Chancellor Vex declared, adjusting his stack of red and white caps. "They are most festive, even if they serve no quantum purpose." Do-hyun smiled. "The hats can stay, but perhaps we can retire the faster-than-light sleighs." "Most of them exploded anyway," Vex admitted, "and the time-traveling ones kept delivering presents to ourselves from next week." It became very confusing. As the day continued, more families arrived at the station. The observation deck filled with the sounds of children laughing, parents sharing stories, and the occasional small quantum pop as the last of the experimental Santas made their final deliveries. "Christmas spirit," Jae-yun said softly, "needs no advanced technology after all." A small Asterian child tugged at her sleeve. "Can you teach us how to make cookies that won't turn into plasma?" she asked hopefully. And so, beside the stars and the slowly fading quantum distortions, Earth's Christmas traditions began to blend with alien customs in new and wonderful ways. The day that all the alien Santa systems activated simultaneously was not planned. It began when an Asterian quantum tunnel intersected with a Centaurian energy delivery path, which then collided with an Andromedan dimensional portal. The resulting cascade of holiday chaos spread across 3 galaxies in less than an hour. Commander Tahoe Lee watched from Space Station Alpha's command center as his sensors detected hundreds, then thousands of anomalies. "Do-hyun, we have a situation," he communicated to Earth. "All the Santa systems are activating at once." Do-hyun Kim was already rushing to his office when the call came. "How bad is it?" "The quantum tunnels are merging with the dimensional portals," Tahoe reported. "The Regelian robot reindeer are getting pulled into temporary time loops. We have presence appearing and disappearing across multiple dimensions." Through the station's windows, space itself seemed to shimmer with holiday energy. Quantum tunnels created patterns that looked like northern lights. The Centaurian energy beings formed shapes that resembled traditional Christmas decorations. Even the Andromedan dimensional portals sparkled like ornaments in space. "The systems are somehow synchronizing," Jae-yun Park observed, joining the video call from her office. "Instead of fighting each other, they're combining." A massive quantum tunnel opened near the station. Instead of the usual chaotic energy, it stabilized into a beautiful spiral of light. Through it came the Regelian robot reindeer, but they were different now. Energy from the Centaurians flowed around them, making them glow like stars. Dimensional effects from the Andromedan systems gave them an ethereal, magical appearance. The children, Jae-yun suddenly realized, all the cultural exchange sessions we've been having, the children have been teaching each other about their traditions. They've been sharing stories about what Christmas means to them. The combined Santa systems began to stabilize. Instead of random present deliveries, they created beautiful light shows in space. The quantum tunnels formed patterns that told stories from different cultures. The robot reindeer danced through the stars, trailing lights that looked like falling snow. High Chancellor Vex's face appeared on the communication screen, his stack of Santa hats glowing with quantum energy. Most fascinating. The systems are responding to the shared joy and wonder of all our children. The quantum fields are being shaped by positive emotions. Do-hyun watched in amazement as the chaos transformed into harmony. The technology is finally working with the spirit of the holiday instead of trying to replace it. Space stations across 3 galaxies reported similar events. The competing Santa systems had merged into something new, a celebration that combined the best of human tradition with alien innovation. Children from all species watched in wonder as their shared understanding of Christmas spirit reshaped the very fabric of space. Perhaps, Jae-yun suggested, this is what Christmas looks like when it truly goes universal. The light show continued for hours. Robot reindeer pulled sleighs through quantum tunnels that sparkled with dimensional energy. Presents were still delivered, but now they arrived wrapped in the warm glow of shared joy rather than cold technology. I believe, Tahoe said softly, we've just witnessed the birth of something entirely new. As the event concluded, the various alien Santa systems powered down naturally, leaving behind a sense of peace and unity. The technology remained, but it had been transformed by understanding. The aliens had finally grasped that the true power of Christmas lay not in quantum physics or dimensional engineering, but in the simple act of sharing joy with others. 1 year after the Great Convergence, Do-hyun Kim stood in the newly constructed Galactic Festival Hall on Earth. Representatives from every spacefaring civilization had gathered for the first official Galactic Santa Festival. The massive hall sparkled with decorations from 100 different worlds. High Chancellor Vex, still wearing his signature stack of Santa hats, approached Do-hyun with a warm smile. Who would have thought our misunderstanding would lead to something so wonderful? He said, gesturing at the celebration around them. The hall was filled with the sounds of children laughing and singing in different languages. Centaurian energy beings created beautiful light displays that danced with Andromedan dimensional decorations. Rigelian robot reindeer, now properly calibrated, gave rides to excited children of all species. We learned something important from Earth, Vex continued. The magic of Christmas isn't in the technology, it's in bringing people together. Jae-yun Park joined them, carrying a plate of cookies that had been baked normally, not quantum-tunneled. Each species has added something unique to the celebration, she observed. The Centaurians' Festival of Lights, the Andromedan Unity celebrations, the Rigelian Star Dance, they've all become part of something bigger. Commander Tahoe Lee's voice came through the communication system. He was monitoring the celebration from Space Station Alpha. The quantum field readings are stable, he reported. All Santa systems are operating within safe parameters. No unauthorized time travel or dimensional breaches detected. The aliens had kept their various Santa technologies, but had modified them to work together safely. Instead of competing to deliver presents the fastest, they now collaborated to create spectacular holiday displays. The quantum tunnels, energy beings, and dimensional portals worked in harmony to spread joy rather than chaos. Earth's Santa Claus inspired us, said an Andromedan child, her form shimming with holiday lights. But we made something new together, something that belongs to everyone. In one corner of the hall, alien children taught Earth kids their traditional holiday games. In another, Earth children helped their alien friends decorate Christmas trees with ornaments that defied physics in delightful ways. The smell of holiday treats from a dozen worlds filled the air. The Galactic Council has officially recognized the festival, Do-hyun announced to the gathered crowd. Every year, all our peoples will come together to celebrate the spirit of giving, joy, and unity. A small Rigelian child approached Do-hyun, holding up a carefully wrapped present. We made this for you, she said, to thank Earth for sharing Santa with us. Inside the gift was a crystal that showed images from the past year, alien children learning about Christmas, scientists turning their research to peaceful purposes, families from different worlds celebrating together. It captured the moment when competition had transformed into cooperation. Next year, we host the festival on our homeworld. Vex declared proudly. We've already converted our quantum research facility into a holiday cultural center. The black holes now power the light displays instead of gift delivery. As evening fell, the celebration moved outside. The night sky came alive with a coordinated display of all the alien Santa technologies working together. Quantum lights danced with energy beings, dimensional portals created beautiful patterns among the stars, and robot reindeer flew graceful formations overhead. From one misunderstood Earth tradition, Jai-yun said softly, came something that united galaxies. Do-hyun smiled as he watched Earth children and alien children playing together under the magical light show. The spirit of Christmas had not just survived its journey to the stars. It had grown into something more wonderful than anyone could have imagined.